I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Hulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News Tonight. Women's Minister tells staff to shape up. New tribunal to process third-party insurance claims. And inter-island services to improve with additional vessel. Mediocre service delivery will not be tolerated. Employees at the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation have been told to shape up. Minister Meriseni Vuniwanga delivered the message at the launch of the ministry's corporate plan. Edwin Nund reports.
Senior managers and department heads have been told that service delivery needs to improve.
When you fail as managers to follow what's in your corporate plan, to keep track of what your staff are doing on the ground, it will take the minister to do your job for you. And when that happens, we've got to ask some very serious questions about what we are doing in government. Are we just here to receive our paychecks at the end of a fortnight? Do we really care about the people that we're actually mandated to serve in this ministry? Or is it just an 8 to 4:30 thing that you do and go home?
Vuniwanga has also told staff to seriously re-evaluate their dedication to the work or consider other employment because the ministry looks after the most vulnerable and underprivileged in Fiji.
We are the ones with the money. We are the ones with the mobile phones and the landlines to deliver the service, not the customers that we're serving. They don't have these privileges. Use the resources that you have. Go out of your way. Take that extra step.
The minister says the days are numbered for employees who come in to make up the hours or sit behind the desk all day doing next to nothing.
It's not only the following of our annual corporate plans. It goes deeper than that. It demands a lot more than that. It demands personal commitments.
Staff have been told to think long and hard about whether they can put in the long hours and dedication required of them. They also have to show love and compassion towards people who depend on the ministry's services. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
It is expected a tribunal will be set up to look at issues relating to compensation payout. Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum says third-party insurance has been an area of concern, as most of the cases either end up in court or dwindle away because litigation is a costly affair for victims. Shireen Shivan reports.
Third-party insurance was introduced to protect road users. However, when accidents occur, payout becomes an issue. In a seminar this morning, Consumer Council Chief Executive Premila Kumar criticized the current system, claiming it's not serving its purpose.
Driver or the owner who paid the premium is out of the picture, and the accident victim or his or her family has to liaise with the insurance company for fair compensation.
In the last 8 years, the council has received 35 complaints against compulsory third-party insurance. Attorney General Ayaz Said Qayyum says, in some cases, when victims approach lawyers, the lawyers do not charge an upfront fee, but take a certain percentage of the payout.
We heard some horrendous stories where people, for example, have had a payout after 3 or 4 years, where they may have got, for example, $50,000 or $100,000, but the lawyers end up taking half of it, and without any rhyme or reason, without necessarily any proper billing.
A law was passed a few years ago restricting lawyers to take only a maximum of 10% of the compensation for fee. Sayed Qayyum says they need to protect the innocent victims who have suffered from the accidents with no fault of their own. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
Gaunda Shipping now has a fourth vessel, the Lomai VT Princess 4. It is sure to enhance its outer island services. President George Gounder says the vessel is unique and will be servicing the Natuvu Backpoint area in Taviuni. Kelly Vadala reports.
This ship will be in service by next week and will link Savu-Savu, Taviuni, Rotuma, Suva, Koro and Kandavu.
It's going to provide a daily service, 2 trips a day between Natu and Taviuni, okay, on the crossing. The daily service, so people who's doing business in Lambasa or Taviuni can do business in either 2 islands and be home in the evening. The cost for this project is about $1.4 million Fijian. Okay, that's with the accommodation, with the airfare, and the fuel costs and the maintenance we've done to the vessel.
Minister for Infrastructure and Transport Praveen Kumar says the new Lomaiviti Princess 4 is an important component of the national transport network that links people and commerce.
Sea travel needs to be as modern, comfortable and safe as highway travel, integrated in purpose and function until it forms one seamless. We, the government and the shipping operators, all need to work together on how we can collectively improve shipping services for all Fijians.
According to Gounder, this new vessel can carry up to 400 passengers and has the capacity to load 6 10-wheeler trucks or 19 cars. The new vessel will also provide employment opportunities to 10 people who will become members of the ship's crew. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
2 more lives were lost in separate drownings yesterday. A 7-year-old girl was found floating near her home by her mother in Munairavu, Rewa. The deceased was playing outside while her mother attended to another child when the tragedy occurred. In another incident, a 13-year-old student drowned while swimming with her cousins near the Vaisari Bridge in Lami. She jumped off the bridge but did not surface. 4 children have drowned since the beginning of the school holidays. The drowning toll for the year now stands at 20. A walkathon is planned for Saturday to help raise funds for more than 1,000 needy children. The Foundation for the Education of Needy Children in Fiji is fundraising for school uniforms, sandals, bags and stationery. Pranita Prakash reports.
18-year-old Dux of Nasinu Secondary School, Avikash Ruben, was assisted by Fenk Fiji after his father, the only breadwinner in the family, passed away. Ruben, originally from Lotoka, left school and came to Suva looking for a job, but Fenk Fiji put him back in school.
Fenk Fiji came into my education life and helped me a lot. They helped me financially, like supporting me through stationery and uniforms, school uniforms, and also moral support. Like they also did counseling and stuff to give me more courage of how to, get down to my troubles and problems, so that I can focus more in my education.
Fenk Fiji founder John Sami says they need around $300,000 annually, and the walkathon on Saturday is likely to raise around $80,000.
I appeal to you, please contribute to this worthy cause. It's for the poorest of the poor. Even if you gave $1 a month in a year, even if you encouraged your children, to put 10 cents or $1 in a saving kit, and in the end of the year contribute that for the poorest of the poor children in Fiji. That way we all would be joining hands in this and truly make this a national effort to fight this kind of poverty.
The walkathon will be held in Suva, Nasinu, Lotoka and Lambasa this Saturday from 7 a.m. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Coming up on FBC News, sustainable development to protect the environment, and TCF Council receives $100,000 grant. Stay with us.
My name is Siobhan. I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Mirchi FM क्योंकि Mirchi FM is #1 in music. Mirchi FM is hot.
I am Suresh Chand, वैतुरी नसूरी से बोलता हूँ। जैसे आँख खुलती है मिर्ची FM मुझे मस्त कर देती है।
I am Viren from Zambula. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Rizwan Khan.
Hi, and my name is Mohammed Sufyan. Batu Bahe and Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Vishal Maharaj. I'm working for Nasintan Culture as a market master. I love listening to Mirchi FM.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The first ever forest warden training in Fiji is currently underway in Lambasa. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports these wardens will help the Ministry of Forests manage forests in Vanuatu.
Vanuatu boasts one of the largest forest areas in the country. 7 individuals have been chosen from the main forest areas and are being trained to be forest wardens.
Our offices are all centrally located. Office in Lambasa. We will never know what's happening in Kumbula, in Wainum. Yeah, but these guys are there on the ground. So we need to empower them to be our eyes and our ears on the ground.
The Ministry of Forests is still putting together the specific regulation that will oversee the roles and responsibilities of these forest wardens.
They will be much lower than the forest guard. They will be our eyes and our ears on the ground, helping in co-managing,
Managing the forests basically mean these newly trained forest wardens will monitor and report any illegal logging activities in the forests, report forest fires, and as well as raise awareness to communities on the need to manage and sustain our forests.
It's really encouraged me because I have to go back to my village and impart my knowledge of sustaining the forest, because that's our mother nature.
It's challenged me to inform my village of the importance of sustaining our forest, as there are laws that bind the natural resources and also to protect us.
This is Module 2 of the 4-module training for the forestry wardens, which is 2 weeks long. Upon completion of Module 4, they will then be certified forestry wardens. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
There is a need for development in the Pacific to be carried out in a sustainable manner with minimum damage to the environment. This is the focus of the Regional Mitigation, Hierarchy and Biodiversity Offsets workshop underway in Nadi this week. Ellen Stolz has the story.
Organized by the Pacific Community, or SPC, and the Secretariat of the Pacific Regional Environmental Program, or SPREP, the aim is to improve the way development is carried out in the Pacific. Rescue Project Coordinator Raphael Bill says mitigation, hierarchy and biodiversity offsets are relatively new concepts here.
Development projects, you have environmental impacts and you usually have some biodiversity loss. So the first step is to try and avoid the impact that you may have with the project. You can refine the way the project is designed to avoid a majority of impacts. Then the second step, for the impact that you cannot avoid, you can try to minimize them. Then you can do some restoration, ecological restoration, like replanting some trees on the sites where you have the impact.
Acting Director of the Department of Environment, Aminiasi Ngaringare, says there is a growing need to integrate both concepts into existing environmental impact assessments to be able to strengthen it and develop consent frameworks.
It's a big plus for us in terms of climate change, because by doing biodiversity offsets we are increasing our capacity to sequester carbon. And also we are enabling the people that live still in the rural areas to rely on the natural assets that we have,
It's a natural solution to be able to combat climate change and preserve the ecosystems and the environment, so that in turn the environment can save us in the future. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
$130,000 worth of foot care and consumables were given to the Health Ministry by the Australian government today. Minister for Health Rosie Akbar says diabetes is the most common cause of non-traumatic limb amputation, with diabetic foot ulcers preceding more than 80% of amputations.
This equipment will make a great impact in terms of providing the needed care when reaching out to persons who may be facing complications with foot care. Foot problems, I'm sure you are all aware, in diabetes are among the most serious complications of diabetes mellitus.
At a workshop in Lami today, the Health Ministry's human resource officers were addressed on the job strategies to assist them in improving health services for all Fijians. Civil Service Minister Ayaz Said Kayum says the workshop is significant, given the need for the ministry to realign, renew and re-energize the system and its processes to drive quality services in an effective and efficient manner. Savara Tambua has more.
One of the most important things that participants were reminded of is the placing of the right people in the right job. Minister for Civil Service Syed Qayyum says now every single key position in the respective ministries will be assessed in terms of looking at merit, working conditions and salary increases.
We also need to know how this person is a team, what is he or she like as a team leader. So there's a certain percentage of that assessment that comes by way of the subordinates assessing the people's individual performance. That is also very critical.
Syed Qayyum says the reform will bring about changes in the working industry.
We have made enormous strides, in particular in the past 7 to 10 years. Enormous strides. A lot of people say that to us. But we still will be able to take the cream if we carry out these fundamental reforms.
Health Minister Rosie Akbar has confirmed that the system of appointing an employee will now be based on their ability to do the job.
Through the Human Resources for Health reform, the Ministry will commit to the open merit system that states objectivity, impartiality and fair competition throughout the recruitment and selection process, alignment and commitment to the Constitution of the Republic of Fiji Islands.
Participants were told that every single person appointed should be assessed thoroughly by the ministry before taking up a job. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
Smiles stretched across the faces of 37 children today as they graduated from the mobile kindy at Maisuva Park. As Shireen Shivan reports, today was a day filled with dances, traditional songs and joy for these children.
A moment of pride for parents as they watched their children receive certificates today.
My daughter going up there, just like it's giving the direction of what the future holds for her.
So happy, and it's like, because it's my first son for going to schooling for this year.
The occasion honored the children that graduated. It also marked the start of the festive season celebrations.
These are the leaders of tomorrow. Where they go and what they achieve for themselves at a later stage depends on how we look after them today.
The Mobile Kindy is an organization that has been providing quality early childhood education to disadvantaged children in Suva since March 2013. Sharin Shivan, FBC News.
17 days away from Christmas and the public festivities have begun with Vodafone Fiji and the Fiji Broadcasting Corporation's Christmas in the Park. Maisuva Park is lit up with fun and fanfare to usher in the Christmas spirit as we count down to the biggest birthday celebration of the year. Maggie Boyle reports.
'Tis the season to be jolly. Christmas is almost here, and what a way to start it off with the lighting of one of the biggest Christmas trees.
It also reminds us that it is time for family reunions, merrymaking and the purpose and importance of the festive season. But at the same time, let us spare a thought for those of our fellow Fijians who are less fortunate.
Vodafone's acting chief executive Rajneesh Prasad also highlighted the need to celebrate the year's milestones.
2016 has been a golden year for Fiji with many memorable achievements. Vodafone is proud to have played our part in supporting the many individuals, teams, events and projects that have resulted in notable successes.
For the next 9 days, they will be caroling here in the park from 6 p.m, sharing that Christmas spirit with one and all. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Now to sports, and with the very latest, here's Jamie.
Nakajaki, and good evening. Coming up, Fiji Sevens identify and iron out mistakes ahead of Cape Town tournament. And PACMAS facilitate workshop to boost Fijian women in news and sports. Stay with us for this and more.
Mrs. Maninrabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatukola. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Naka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Pro Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Lotoka. I like Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Fiji Sevens team has identified one of its biggest weaknesses from the Dubai Sevens and has put in measures to improve before the Cape Town tournament kicks off in 2 days. With an urgency to improve defense coupled with the fact that Fiji has not won in South Africa since 2005, the team is raring to end the opening leg of the series on a high. Rohit Deo reports.
Going head to head.
The Fiji Sevens team conceded 15 tries in Dubai over 2 days. Coach Nathaniel Imbuka says, compared to the tournaments in the last 3 years, this figure is very high.
We reflected on tournaments that we've won in the past 3 years, and when we look at the stats, the tournaments we won, we had about 10 or less number of tries that was scored against the team. So obviously we went 5 more on the weekend, and that was the result really.
Big call.
Fiji went through a scrimmaging session against Minos Uganda in Cape Town today to try and test their game plan before the final team is named.
Allowed us just to go through our plays, go through our shape in attack and defense, and the different combinations that we'd like to put on the field on Saturday.
One of the great sights in rugby.
Imbuka says the players are hungry for a win this weekend.
The players are in high spirits. There's a hunger amongst them, obviously, with the excitement of the Cape Town Sevens building up, and they're just eager to go out there and do the job on Saturday and Sunday.
Straight through.
Fiji kicks off its Cape Town campaign against Japan at 11:05 p.m. on Saturday. They then take on Kenya at 2:06 a.m. on Sunday before playing France in their last pool game at 6:12 a.m. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
12 local female journalists are participating in the Pacific Media Assistance Scheme's Women in News and Sports workshop in Suva this week. The workshop is aimed at raising the profile and skills of female sports reporters. Meli Tavanga tells us more.
There seems a less number of female sports journalists in the country. The 5 days workshop provides content to help lift the profile of women in sports covering and allowing gender equality for media professionals.
Producing a lot of content about women's sport, and the networking is having a lot of exciting speakers come to the workshop and for us to visit some sporting events and improve networks between journalists and sport for development organisations and other people in this space.
Facilitator Joanna Lester says today's session specifically focusing on how important networking in covering sports event.
Amazingly, there's clearly obviously a very high standard already here of sports journalism among female journalists, and actually there are some things that I was going to do in the workshop that I've just put in the bin because they weren't needed. So really one of the main focuses here has been the networking side of things, maybe a bit less of the training here and a bit more of the content and the networking.
Participants overwhelmed with what was provided by guest speakers, and it gives them the whole perspective on how they can better themselves as a sports reporter.
Done was gave us another perspective on how to approach an old issue, the old issue being media and communications, and how to effectively use it as a tool to put forth your message, and especially for women in sports journalism.
The workshop has been very helpful, especially to young journalists, sports journalists, and so far what I've learned today is that the importance of female sports journalists in the newsroom. It has helped me to boost myself in terms of what I write and the facts that I write on my stories.
The week-long workshop ends Saturday. Meli Tabanga, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Car Club will hold its final event for the year next Sunday. And to give back to its members and the public, the Car Club will for the first time hold its quarter-mile drag race and car show simultaneously at the Nanuku airstrip. The club is urging everyone to not miss out on what they promise to be a great end-of-year show.
We'll be organizing a drag and a car show together. This is hasn't been done in previous occasions, and this is something that we are trying now. And we're expecting a huge crowd at this time because end of the year, what's all left for the year will be passed on by the races this year.
The Fiji Under-17 white team competing in the Fiji Cup football tournament in Nandi needs to at least secure a draw against IFG Australia tomorrow to qualify for the final. The Shalen Lal coach side held the Bar Under-19 team to a 2-all draw yesterday and will take on IFG Australia at 2:30 p.m. tomorrow at Prince Charles Park. At the completion of the tournament, the national Under-17 side for next year's Oceania playoffs will be named. The playoffs will take place in Tahiti in February. That's it from sports this evening. Business is up next with Jackie.
The Textiles, Clothing and Footwear Council has received $100,000 from the Ministry of Industry and Trade. The industry employs 7,000 people in over 40 factories. Permanent Secretary for Trade Shaheen Ali says the government will continue supporting the industry. Ali says Australia and New Zealand remain Fiji's main export markets.
Our grant to the TCF industry has made an impact. According to the report they provide, they have established markets worth about 5 million. They have invested an extra 5 million into the industry, and about 450 new employment has been created because of the marketing grant and the new markets that have been explored.
Sunshine, mild breezes and moderate temperatures marked the day. Nadi and Lautoka recorded 33 degrees while the rest of the centres were in the lower 30s. For tomorrow, the northern and eastern areas can expect a chance of showers. Elsewhere, it will be mainly dry. And looking further on to Saturday and the weekend, there is an increased chance of rain in the east and north. At sea, southeast winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. Recapping the main stories for tonight. Women's Minister tells staff to shape up, new tribunal to process third-party insurance claims, and Fiji team works on ironing out mistakes ahead of South Africa Sevens. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Now to our poll question. This week we are asking, is Fiji capable of hosting the World 7 Series? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
Nimbul binak, datang goleh apa ni? Luknitang. Ando talitak na warong, ena radio Fiji 1, ando may biti na bongan ni Pienian.
Sado la bina, uyada ko elenani weningol, uda tormay na koroi sasa, nagngotang-otang ngitaw mata, mantola biya na radio Fiji 1, napuntaw ba nung biya na news.
Ni sampula na elang ko apini sarat may koro ena kasi, auto bagarong ena radio Fiji 1, bongan ni Pienian.
Na radio Fiji 1, nando may biti na bongan ni Pienian.